What's up, gang? It's your man Key here, and we are locked in back with another episode of Key Success Podcast. Welcome, everyone. Happy early, not early, but happy Father's Day weekend. Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Shout out to everyone who has stepped up and who has taken their roles and responsibilities as a man. Shout out to all the loving, supportive men out there who are taking care of their kids, their families, and holding it down. We appreciate you. We love you so much. And without y'all, who knows what the world would be like. So shout out to everyone out there. We back on another episode, man. Episode 9 does not mean something. Shout out to Mallory Bros. Hey, y'all go tap into them. Mallory Bros podcast. I'm telling y'all. DMV area, Maryland, PG County, Pretty Girl County. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna go out there one day. I'm manifesting right now. I'm going out there soon. If I ever had a chance to meet y'all, I swear it would be just an eye-opening moment. I've been watching y'all every single video since y'all started y'all YouTube journey back in 2012, I would say. But shout out to y'all, man. But we back with another episode, man. We're gonna run through a couple topics this week. So give y'all opinions, takes, and whatever. You know how it go. Y'all, I want to be more interactive with y'all. So for all the people who do subscribe to my videos, like, share, comment, give me some feedback, y'all. Come on, I don't bite. Like, let's keep this going. Let's get a repertoire going, back and forth, collab. Let's do it. I don't bite. I don't discriminate. Let's just get a back and forth banner going. You know, it's love the support, love the anticipation of y'all, whoever shows up to come watch my videos. And at the same time, I want to interact with y'all. I want to get to know y'all more, just like I would love to get to know y'all from my perspective. So, all right, let's get started. First topic is we're going to get a preview of what we've been seeing from the NBA Finals. This NBA Finals of 2024 between the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. I think y'all could guess from the color I'm wearing, or not just the color, but whose side I've taken in this battle, and it was, in fact, the Dallas Mavericks. Shut up, Smurf, because I'm probably gonna owe you $40 from that bet, because we bet on who's gonna win. But Boston's up as of right now today, 3-1. Dallas won Game 4 last night, and they forced the Game 5 Monday. So hopefully, either we're gonna see history from a team being down 3-0 and coming back all the way for a Game 7 to win the NBA Finals, or we're gonna crown a new champion in the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, a young coach in Joe Mazzulla. So it's very exciting to see. It's been up and down. A lot of talk has been happening between Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, their legacies, their stardom, their play. But I would say if I had to choose between who would win the NBA Finals Most Valuable Player award for the Celtics, I would choose Jaylen Brown, only because of the defense he's bringing on both sides of the ball, with his defense that impacts the game, and also with his offense. He's playing both sides of the floor. He's impacting not only what the Boston Celtics is giving them offensively, but defensively shutting down players like Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, along with Drew Holiday, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis whenever he's healthy. Even their bench players are scoring amazingly. Al Horford, which is a 38-year-old player, still fighting to this day to get his first NBA championship, which says a lot about his hustle, his hunger, his starvation to win his first championship. So you can't hate on them, man. You just got to give them props on what they're doing. They're a good young team. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals, I want to say 5 times already. This is their second finals appearance since they were young, since they were drafted and came into the league. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown has been one of the 2 best pairings of young talents in this league, and we've just been taking them for granted. But sooner or later, especially Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum, we know that we perceive him to be the quote unquote superstar on their team, but a lot of people from this performance with Jaylen Brown and what he's done to step up in his career, not making the all defensive team, but his teammates Derek White and Drew Holiday making it, not making it an all NBA team, but in still fact getting a huge contract this past year. But he hasn't been the number one guy to facilitate the offense on an 82 game regular season. And he has a lot of pressure taken off of him with all of the pieces around him, especially with Jason Tatum being the quote-unquote superstar on the team. A lot of teams are going to go after the superstar, which frees him up and opens the lanes up for him to do what he does on both sides of the floor. So that's just my take on that for the Celtics. And obviously for the Dallas Mavericks, if they do somehow come back and win this series, it's going to be no question that the MVP award is going to go to none other than Luka Doncic. He's just been absolutely amazing on the offensive end. Defensively, last game he has picked it up just a tad bit more, which I appreciate, because you have to be a complete player on both sides of the ball to contribute on winning not only just a game at this magnitude, but also winning a championship. Defense, I always say this, and a lot of people have said this before, offense wins games, but defense wins championships. No matter which sport you're playing, you must have an opportunity to shut down someone. No matter what sport you're playing, football, basketball, hockey, it doesn't matter. The ability to stop someone can contribute to winning championships, no matter what you're doing. So, but Luka, he's been outstanding on the offensive end, leading his team in points, rebounds, assists. He's just been great, and he's only 25 years old. All of these superstars on both sides of their teams are so young and still have more to improve and grow on. So, but that's just my take. I would say that I don't see a comeback for the Dallas Mavericks this year. Jason Kidd has coached his tail off with this young team, and I could see them, coming back next year and getting the experience more this year, and it's going to help them, obviously, in the future run. But I don't see them making a comeback. I see Boston, and I'm a Lakers fan, if you guys don't know. Kobe is my all-time GOAT, but I feel like Boston's going to win their 18th championship, and they're going to pass the Lakers. They're going to split the tie, and they're going to be the franchise that has won the most NBA championships in NBA history. So, as much as it hurts me to say it, that must going to be the truth right there. So, and speaking of Lakers, I also want to send my condolences to the late, great Jerry West. He passed this Wednesday in his sleep. He passed at the age of 86. And it was a tragic event. News broke out this morning. If you guys don't know, Jerry West, he played for the Los Angeles Lakers, I want to say back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. He is the only player in NBA history who has won an NBA Finals MVP award on the losing side. Like, just think about that. Your team won the NBA championship, and not one player on your team has named MVP. The loser's team best player has won MVP. Like, just get that in your head. Like, just think about that for a second. That's insane. So that lets you know, not only as a player but as an executive, how great he was at his job, how great he was as a player, and just how great he was as a human being. He is the logo of the NBA. If you guys look up the NBA logo, it was none other inspired by the late, great Jerry West. And he will always be remembered. Shout out to his family, his friends, and may he rest in peace. Next thing I want to talk to you guys about is, staying on basketball, is, do you feel like Caitlin Clark is getting treated unfairly by some of the other veterans in the WNBA? And what I mean by that is, a lot of controversy has been surrounding Caitlin Clark If you guys haven't seen the hard fouls on her, some of the criticizing and pushback that she's been getting from other media players, it's so much happening, but I don't want it to go away from the fact of why we're here. We are here because we are talking about WNBA basketball, y'all. Like, just think about that for a second. It's June. The NBA Finals is happening right now. And somehow, some way, with the WNBA season approaching, and it's here right now, we are talking about women's sports. And it's awesome and beautiful to see. And it's not just because of Caitlin, but you have to recognize and respect that she is a huge part of growing the game of women's basketball. And she's the female equivalent to Stephen Curry. She shoots like Stephen Curry. Her game in college inspires from her to Steph, the way she plays, the way she moves without the ball, the way she can pull up from 50, 40, 30, logo shots. It doesn't matter. Also, this women class has just been astounding. Like, I want you guys to understand, they have been moving crowds to accommodate more people in arenas for WNBA regular season games. They have been selling out games. They have been selling out WNBA All-Star games. The Olympics this year for the women's USA team, which I'm going to talk about later, spoiler alert, but just so much has been focused on WNBA and women's basketball and sports in general, and it's just amazing and beautiful to see. Shout out to Kobe Bryant once again, a catalyst. Once he retired, push women's sports, push women's basketball, and just inspired people to be invested in the game, no matter if it's a man or a woman. You know, a lot of people just saying, oh, the WNBA is so boring. Oh, they don't do anything. They don't dunk. Need to lower the rim. Like, no, you don't have to do that. You can be just as good, just as inspired of seeing real, rough, rugged competition between women, and how transitionless and how easy it is to love the game if you absolutely love the game. So it's amazing to see. I'm a fan of it. Shout out to DC Mystics. Shout out to Chicago Sky. I need to get some gear, man. I'm gonna get some gear. Angel Reese, Camila Cardosa. Just those two players alone for this rookie class has been astronomical. Like, we've been watching the WNBA draft. We've just been following these players through social media. They're growing the game. I love it, and I can't wait to watch this game grow. And if you guys are on board now, we're gonna have some room on the bandwagon for y'all. But if you're not here right now, then you're missing out big time. And I just want to let you know that right now. And for all of the veterans, no, I wouldn't say that they're not hating on Caitlin Clark. It's more of a fact of, okay, this young girl's coming in the league and she has more eyes on us. But now we're going to show you that there's a reason why we're the best players, not just in basketball, but in women's sports, period. Like, we're some of the best, and we're going to show you why. We're not going to roll over, and we're not going to let you be this quote-unquote white troop savior to save the WNBA and to save us from getting more money, more sponsorships, marketing, charter flights, revenue. Like, we've been pushing the game and elevating the game. It's not just you. You are a huge part. We give you flowers and we appreciate it, but we're going to go out there every time and we're going to beat your ass. Not quote-unquote violently, but we're going to bring you your best. And we're just going to show everyone that there's levels to this. And you're just not on that level yet. I feel like she will eventually in her career will get there, but as of right now, she has a lot of growing pains to go through, and it's just a part of the game, and it's just basketball, whether you like it or not. So, but next thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about USA women's basketball for Team USA, and for some reason they left off Caitlin Clark for this year's Olympics, and I felt like this wasn't a good move when you're talking about growing the game of basketball. From what I just said on the previous segment, I feel like this move slow down the process of growing the game of basketball in the WNBA and women's sports. We're not having Caitlin Clark on this team this year. I understand it's in Paris. I understand that she doesn't have a lot of chemistry with the teammates. She has a lot of, growing up as a player to do. But at the same time, I would like to see Caitlin Clark go out there and get those reps, those minutes, those tough style of basketball overseas with different teams and players. And I just feel like it's going to help her even grow her game in the WNBA already. So we're not going to see her this year. They've already announced the team, 12 players. She's not on this roster. Mind you, maybe if someone, knock on wood, gets hurt, maybe she gets added to that roster. But other than that, she's not on the roster as of right now. But hopefully in the year of 2028, when the Olympics come around next year in our country, which will be taking place in Los Angeles, hopefully we get to see Caitlin Clark shine on the big stage. But I felt as a need to say that this was a mistake leaving her off on the team this year in terms of growing the league, striking right when the iron's hot, publicity, marketing, elevating the game of women's basketball. So that's just my take on it. Next thing I want to do is talk about, just shout out, I want to give a congratulations to my sister and my mom. We both celebrated both their birthdays. My sister's birthday was June 8th and my mom's birthday was June 11th. So they're both Leos. For all of the Leos people out there, just shout out to both of them. And I want to say that I love both of you guys so much. I appreciate everything that you have done for me, for my dad, for the rest of my family. And I'm thankful for God allowing you to be here yet another year. And I appreciate and love y'all so much. And I wouldn't know what I would be without y'all. So, shout out to y'all. Next thing I want to do is get into the topic of reacting to UConn head coach Dan Hurley turning down the Los Angeles Lakers offer of 6 years, $70 million to become the next Lakers head coach. He turned down this offer Monday, and now he's going back to UConn to try to do what no coach has ever done in NCAA college basketball history, and that is to three-peat. 3 national titles in a row. He's trying to do that, and obviously, shout out to him. He's been in that area of the New Jersey, Connecticut, big East basketball world, and I felt like the Lakers dropped the ball with maybe lowballing him in terms of just Lakers management in general. If you guys don't know, Mike Krzyzewski, Duke coach, Lakers tried to get him back in 2004 when he was available. Mind you, Mike Krzyzewski is one of, if not the greatest college basketball coach of all time. They gave him and offered him a contract of $8 million per year. That was back in 2004. We're in 2024, almost 20 years later, and you mean to tell me that the most that you offered Dan Hurley, a back-to-back national champion head coach, you offered this man $11 million? No. If you wanted to get him, if you wanted to get his strategy, if you wanted to get his culture setting, then you would have to overpay him. And in the long run, it would work. In the short run, not too much, especially with the back end career of LeBron James. Who knows how many years he have left? I want to say he has maybe 2 more years solid. I don't know what you're gonna do in free agency. Don't know who you're gonna draft. Are you gonna take Bronny James, his son, or not? It's just a lot of questions and speculations happening, and I felt like the timing was bad, and it was not essentially a good timing move for Dan Hurley. So that's why I felt like the best decision for not only him and his family was to stay. So, but the Lakers, they missed, they struck out, and instead of lowballing him, they should have gave him more money, make him an offer that he couldn't refuse, and to try and to get a culture setter, a trendsetter in your locker room, in your franchise, and move forward. So, next thing I want to talk about is I just want to give a word of advice. No matter what you're doing in life, in your career, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. Get yourself out there, promote yourself, get yourself confidence, work hard, grind, be successful at whatever you do. And when you do that, more people are going to recognize you. They're going to see you, and they're going to appreciate you, what you're doing. So just keep that in mind. Okay, next thing I want to talk about shortly, Power Book 2 Ghosts back on Stars. If you guys haven't seen it, I want to say that they still have a deal on right now with Stars. $2.99 for 3 months. It's a special right now. Then after that, I think it's going to go back to either $5.99 or $9.99. But as of right now, because it's a final season, Power Book 2 Ghosts right now in June, and it's going to start back up in September. When it starts back up in September, that's when you might have to go back to the regular payment of $9.99. But as of right now, you know, for the people who binge watch TV show series, whether they just go week to week or whether, I'm going to wait until all of the episodes out and I'm just going to watch them full, however works for you, is out. Shout out to Michael Rainey Jr., Gianno Paulo, 50 Cent, everyone who has ever been a part of the Power Book 2 series. I love it. Love y'all. Y'all doing an amazing job, amazing work, and I can't wait to see what y'all do on y'all careers as well. So, next thing I want to talk about is A'ja Wilson. Now, it's been reported now that A'ja Wilson will be receiving her first signature shoe with Nike. And I just want to talk about that in a sense that A'ja Wilson, a member of the Las Vegas Aces, an MVP, two-time MVP, two-time champion, two-time finals MVP. And you mean to tell me that now she's getting her own signature shoe when someone like Sabrina Ionescu, a player from the New York Liberty, who hasn't done anything yet in this league, she's talented. Mind you, Kobe was the sole person who basically guided her to the WNBA before he passed. But you mean to tell me that someone who is dominant and someone who has taken the league by storm is just now getting a signature shoe before someone like Sabrina Ionescu? That's just, and shout out to her, no shade on her. She deserves her money. She deserves all the accolades that she gets. But you have to acknowledge the stars who are growing your game. And that's just raised the eyebrow to me and a little cause to pause in terms of, no, that doesn't sit right. You take care of your bread and butter. And right now, A'ja Wilson is having her best season so far in the WNBA. She's going to win MVP again. She should win Defensive Player of the Year. So acknowledge her, because she is the WNBA's best player, hands down. There's no question about it. And we're not talking about her as enough as we should, period. So shout out to A'ja Wilson. Shout out to Becky Hammon, head coach. Should be a head coach in the NBA if y'all really want to talk about it. Pop, I don't know when you're going to retire, Greg Popovich, for the San Antonio Spurs, but when you do, you should just reach out to the organization and say, hey, we already got a woman. We already got our person who's going to lead us into the future of the Spurs organization, and that is none other than Becky Hammond. So shout out to her, and shout out to the rest of them on the team. So next thing I want to do is talk about is I want to give 2 congratulations to Mike Tomlin on extending his contract 3 years for all the way up to 2027 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm so happy for this man. If you guys don't know NFL, being a head coach is hard enough as it is. And I want you guys to process this. This man has not had a losing season in the NFL for 17 years. Just think about that. For 17 years, he has not had an under 500 record. And that says something. That speaks volumes to the type of man he is, what type of coach he is, what type of leader, and the character of this man. So shout out to him. And I also want to say shout outs to 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey on being named on the cover of NFL Madden 25 video game. We all know, oh, once you get named to the cover of Madden, it's a curse. Well, we saw that Patrick Mahomes got the cover and he won the Super Bowl and MVP. So he, quote unquote, ended the curse of the Madden curse. Shout out to John Madden as well. What he brought to the game. But it's over, and can't wait to see how the game looks. Hopefully, y'all make some improvements since the college football game is going to be out next month. So, but I'm excited for Christian McCaffrey. He's an awesome player. I would say he is the best running back in the league right now. And I just want to branch off this narrative that doesn't matter. The NFL MVP award should go to the best player in the NFL. It is not a quarterback award. It should go to the person who is the best player on the best team, no matter what position in the NFL. So that's just my take on that. Next thing I want to do is, lastly, I want to compare 2 movies that I've seen this past week, and that is one, Bad Boys, Ride or Die with Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and the movie Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, these are 2 franchises that have had both 4 movies. And unpopular opinion, if I would have to compare, obviously in my opinion, from these movies that I saw this weekend, I would say that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes was a more interesting, more enjoyable film for me than Bad Boys, Ride or Die. And we've been watching these movies for a very long time, especially with Bad Boys. It breaks off the nostalgia act of what we've been seeing since the 90s with Martin, with Will Smith, and what they've done to grab your attention, keep us focused, keep us involved, keep us entertained, and we love that. But in terms of just storyline, I would say Kingdom of the Apes is better. And it made me want to go back now and watch all of the movies in chronological order, from Rise of the Planet of the Apes, from Dawn, then War, and now Kingdom. And the way the movie ended, the way they set up for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I believe that they're going to have yet another movie on top of that in the upcoming future. In terms of Bad Boys, I want to say that this was the last time that we seen Martin and Will together on the big screen in terms of them being together with Bad Boys. That's just my opinion. Who knows, I could be wrong. But shout out to both of these movies. They've have huge success since they came out in box office production. So, but that's my take. I would say that Kingdom Planet of the Apes was just slightly more better than Bad Boys. Who's to say? Who knows? If you like, depends on what you like in terms of action, what you get already with the comedy with Martin and the seriousness and the likability of Will Smith. You guys know what you're getting already, but that's just my take on it. So, and that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank y'all for all the love and support. Again, happy Father's Day to everyone, all the fathers out there. We love and appreciate y'all so much. And I just want to say thank y'all for letting me to be the key to all of your hearts. And I will see y'all next time on another episode of Keys to Success Podcast. Thank y'all. Peace.